Hello, hello, hello. I see some familiar faces, people trickling in. Hello, Bryce. Hello, Colby. Hi, Durand. Well, let's just get started. What is going on? You are watching and, of course, listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition where we're here every Wednesday night on the Crowdcast platform. I am your host, Stevie V, in Puerto Vallarta, alongside in Brooklyn, Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. Brooklyn's in the house.
Brooklyn and Puerto Vallarta is in the house tonight,
Yeah.
but we are live and we are seeing some familiar faces. Like I said, as people trickle in, we want to hear from you all hour long. This is episode 695. We are going to get right started into our first discussion, and we are talking about how to host a successful gangbang. That's right. It reminds me of that fun Madonna song, Gangbang. And this all stemmed from an article on Andrew Christian's website, How to Prepare for a Gangbang from a Bottom Who Knows. I liked that idea from that perspective, but we're going to kind of break it all down. You and I were talking in our meeting, Kodi, that have we actually been in a gangbang ever before? And we've been talking about orgies on recent episodes. We've talked about threesomes, but a gangbang is actually, and in this case, it's from the perspective of the bottom preparing for it. And it could be three people up to 10, where they are essentially, and I'm using air quotes, the star, where they are just being ready to get pounded in many different ways. You can do it. I have a sling in my house, so that would be a really good way to have
Yeah.
a gangbang at my place, but it
Let's do
doesn't
it.
necessarily have to be that way. It would be really good because one of the things they suggest in here, and we're going to break it down because they had the 6 ways to prepare from a bottom's perspective on hosting their own gangbang, but comfort level and stretching are all things that are going to come up. One of the things, well, I'll bring it up when we talk about it, but one of the things about a sling is that your legs are propped up and you're kind of comfortable lying in this hammock like contraption. Of course, it's leather, but it's really kind of cool. Let's get into it. We'll discuss. This is going to be part of our first poll question. Have you ever participated? What is the question? In a gangbang, correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And the question, have you ever participated in a gangbang, is our first poll question. Yes, the more the merrier. No, not my scene. Or we included a third one. No, but I want to. And that's where I think I am at. Let's get into what they recommend from the bottom's perspective. Step 1, know your limits and your fantasy. So a gangbang can mean a lot of things. Maybe it's 3 guys, maybe it's 10, maybe it's gentle worship, maybe it's rough and tumble chaos. Before you even start prepping, decide what you want out of it. Communicate those limits with whomever is organizing. Consent is hotter than abs. I really like that one. Have a point of view, have a direction. This is your scene, especially if you're from the bottom perspective. You really need to know if you really want to do this and what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And you want those surprises to happen, but you need to really set the
Not the wrong
scene.
surprises.
Not the wrong surprises. We're going to get into prep and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
But
I think this is amazing, though.
yeah, go.
I think that when you know your limits is very important because if you can't take more than however many dicks are there, then you probably should limit the party to the 5 dicks you can take, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And do you want to know some of these people? Where are you finding these people? Are you putting it out on sites like Scruff or Sniffies, or do you go to a place like we go to in New York City, the Eagle, where you're going to find a lot more like-minded people that would be open to this? I kind of find we've been talking a lot about playing with friends or groups of people that you know. I would be somewhat inclined to either go to the New York Eagle or put together with, say, a group of people that we met the other day at a dinner party. We didn't meet them, we know them. And that kind of group had that fun, flirty side to the group. I would be more inclined to go that route versus total strangers. But you could want total strangers because a lot of it is
Sounds
the whole
hot.
point of a gangbang is anonymous. Where would you be on this? Would you want it to be a group of guys that maybe not your closest friends, but people that you meet out in the bars that you know have that kinky side? Or
Yeah.
would you be more inclined to have total anonymous people that you didn't know at all?
Well, I think that both sound like they have their pluses and minuses. So I think in different, you know what? I'm very explorative. So I feel like I would want to explore both of those to see what I was more comfortable with, because they both, knowing the people, kind of, sort of, that could provide with an intimate type of situation that goes on. But like we said, anonymous sex really turns a lot of people on, and I am one of those people. So I'm down to explore both. Are you coming with me? I don't know what's going
I mean, I do think that I would probably at this point be more comfortable with maybe some people that I am
Oh, really?
like kind of my neighbor that invited us to that dinner party. He would be one of them. I know him. That dinner party that we went to recently was one of the first times. Like I've gone to the Eagle with him a lot, but he's one of my bar buddies, and he would be perfect. And maybe a couple of people that he knows that I know peripherally through him would be people that I would want at this party. But and maybe a few strangers as well. Just to be clear, this is coming from the bottom perspective. You would be one of the tops, correct?
Yes, I would
in
be
this?
one of the tops. Yes.
Yeah. Even though you like being a star, which is so funny, it's really the bottom in this case that's the
Oh,
star.
the bottom is the star. I'm just
Yeah.
there to facilitate their rise, their ascent. I'm Mr. DeMille. I'm the director, if you will.
Okay, where's my close-up? Just look down below. Absolutely. And I agree with you. And this one I would actually want to be, I think, on the top end of it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we
I
can get
mean-
Diego to be our bottom boy. I think he's
my God.
watching.
Not our. No. You That's
in
all for
my
you.
in my little
I love
team.
him, though. I love him.
Step 2, prep the peach. Let's talk practicalities. They write cleanliness helps you feel confident, whether that means a douche, shower, or just a good scrub down. Do what makes you feel relaxed and sexy. Don't overdo it. Don't stress it. The more comfortable you are in your body, the more fun you'll have when things get messy in a good way. Yeah, you really need to, if you're going to be this bottom star celebrity of the night, you really need to get your diet in order and be ready to go. And
You're fermented up.
yeah,
All the things.
because let's just assume you've got all shapes and sizes coming in. I mean, down there, you're gonna be taking more than one.
Yeah.
And you want to go the long haul. Basically, that's true.
All of those are perfect. Thank you. I'm living over here. Thank you.
If you haven't taken our poll yet about what we're talking about, have you ever participated in a gangbang? We're breaking it down right now. By the way, if you're listening to this the day after, wherever you get your podcast, be sure to take the same poll. It's on all week. Go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. We'll read some results in this episode, but next Tuesday we'll have some more results for you, so stay tuned for that. Okay, going on with prepare. Step number 3, lube is life. Spit,
That's
cute,
in
and
all
porn for multiple partners back to back, not going to cut it. Have plenty of lube available. Silicone based is if you want long lasting glide. Water-based if toys are involved. Pro tip, keep a bottle within arm's reach on every surface. Your hole deserves hydration. And it just reminds me of the people that I work with, Vakaya, that have got these they look like hand sanitizers. You clip them onto your jock strap and they're filled with silicone lube. You're always ready to go, just like your hand sanitizer. And yeah, check out Vakaya because they know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Well, I agree. If you're going to host one of these parties, whomever you are, top, bottom, you need to have plenty of lube around because, like we said, different shapes and sizes are involved in this. And you don't want to, you don't want spit and all that kind of stuff. As Dr. Goldstein, the good doctor that's always on our show, says, lube, lube, lube. Silicone is the best. Future Method, by the way, is his brand. Check it out. It's silicone based, and I really like it. What do you say about have that lube ready, even though you might be a spit lover?
I'm not a spit lover. I am all about lube. I know what a fissure can do to a butthole, and I think that we should all be taking it seriously. And one way to combat that or make sure that it doesn't happen is by using a plenty of lube. So I give that advice for anybody having butt sex or vaginal sex too.
Doug watching us live says, if 3 people count, I found them in 1996 on my college campus at the LGBT support group. He found a gangbang? Is that what I love that. That's amazing. Wow. Come on now. Really good. Josh watching us live says, I've been in a gangbang in Korea. Hot ass Korean guys all using me back and forth. Laughing my ass out loud. I was the only bottom. That's really hot. Korean guys are really hot as well.
Yeah.
Really love. Yeah. They tend to be bigger too and taller, which is really nice. And so come on, Korea. Love it. Keep those comments coming through. Okay. Back to our conversation on the steps to take if you're going to host a gangbang from the bottom's perspective. Step number 5. I really like this one the best. Take care of your body. So things like hydrate, snack beforehand. Notice they didn't mention like a full-on meal, Kodi.
Don't have rice and beans before you go.
Yeah, right. No rice and beans. Don't go to Empanada Mama where we love to go here. But you need to eat something earlier on at least. You can't, and you have to hydrate. But this is my favorite tip: stretch. Yes, really. I stretch every single day as a former gymnast. Just in general, it just keeps my body lubricated and ready to go. But stretch for sex, and I know our good friend Will Tantra of Tantric Fitness would be all over this as well. Stretch. A gangbang can be a workout, and no one wants a Charlie horse mid-thrust. Can you imagine if your legs are in the air and it's like, ow? Treat it training.
That's why you have the sling.
Yes. Even the sling, though, your legs, you might be propped up and have somewhat of like a harness for your legs, stirrups, if you will. But
like
it's
in the
still
gynecologist. I was going to say
like a gynecologist. Yeah, exactly. But the thing about that is you're in that position. You really need to be stretched and ready to go. Your body's about to run a marathon of pleasure. I just love that. Step number 5 for yourself, particularly if you're the bottom and you want to go the long haul. Really important. And maybe we'll post some stretches and we can get Will to help us out with some of those stretches, and we'll put them on our Tags Patreon community that you can do to prepare. Number 6, build the atmosphere. Yeah, this isn't just sex, it's theater. Lighting, music, a comfortable space, all of it adds to the experience. If you're hosting, curate the vibe. If you're showing up, bring energy. Remember, this is your stage and you deserve to feel like the star. I like that. We talked about that with the orgy too. Remember when we were talking about
definitely.
There's all these free playlists that you can get on Spotify, on Apple Music, on all of those, SoundCloud, that are, you can even probably put gangbang and you'll find something really sexy and thumping and dark and mysterious. Those mood lights, you can get them on Amazon, and they just really add a whole thing. LED lights, red is always a great color. Yeah, think about your atmosphere. Step number 7, aftercare isn't optional. So when the lights go down and the moans fade, take care of yourself. So shower, hydrate again, and don't be afraid to cuddle up with someone if the vibe is right. Text a friend or debrief. Bask in the glow of what you just did. You earned the after party. And this one, Kodi, I really liked because if you took all this time to prepare for a gangbang, you organized it, you had everybody come over, you had a great time, hopefully, it can be somewhat emotional in a different capacity. I mean, you're not just going to put Netflix on and watch The Golden Girls right after it. I mean, Seinfeld. I mean, you almost want to you need this level to get you back into, okay, now we're moving back into normalcy of some sort. And I just feel like a debrief of some manner is necessary. What do you say to that?
I really think that that's something that's plausible, especially if you know all the participants in the gangbang. So I think that that's a great idea, and I think that it'll help you process a lot of things too. So yeah.
Adrian, watching us live, says, when I was a freshman in college, I unintentionally had sex with 3 football players after a few drinks. Unintentionally, okay.
I know,
I
right?
bottomed for 3 burly guys who were very closeted and very horny. Oh my God, that's like a porn waiting to happen.
I know.
I
Did you
love
record
it.
it, Adrian? Is what I want to know.
It's recorded on his hard disk in his mind, so
Yes,
that's good enough for us.
it is.
Very cool. I
We should
love
recreate
it.
it.
So funny. I love it. Okay, we want to keep hearing from you on this topic, but don't forget, we are doing a poll tonight. If you're watching us live, have you ever participated in a gangbang? Yes, the more the merrier. No, not my scene. Or number 3, no, but I want to. So far in the lead is no, but I want to at 50%. So let's keep those votes coming. We will read them at the end of the show, but the poll keeps going, Kodi, over on our Tags Patreon community. Head over to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. And let's get into our next discussion on sexuality that really stemmed from an important documentary that I just watched the other day with my sister. It's available on Prime to rent for $1.99. It's called Body Electric. And it is a really amazing documentary about body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia, as you know, is a mental health condition in which a person spends a lot of time worrying about perceived flaws or defects in their physical appearance, flaws that are often unnoticeable to others. This preoccupation can cause significant distress, affect self-esteem, and interfere with daily life, sometimes leading to repetitive behavior such as mirror checking. I've been there.
I'm
Excessive
doing it now.
grooming, or comparing oneself to others. And Kodi, I got it. This Body Electric, I highly recommend, even if you don't think you have any of this. And we'll break down some of the different ways that really, honestly, Kodi, it affects our community more. LGBTQ people are more likely to experience body dysmorphia from other groups. And what I thought was so interesting about this is the documentarian went and talked to so many different types of bodies, people that had struggled with weight issues, to people that, for all, and I'm using air quotes, seemingly purposes, had perfect bodies. When he talked to some of those that had the perfect body types, some of them said that they work out 7 days a week. Some of them were at 2 times a week. Some of them actually said that they are using steroids to keep up this ideal, and they were comfortable with it. And it was just really interesting. But that the main thing that he did this was because, and I'll let you watch it because you learn something more about his story towards the end of it. And what I really learned about it is that so many of us have different levels of this because it's kind of built into our community. LGBTQ plus people have a higher rate than our counterparts, where not really. What's that?
Straight men, they don't have to worry about anything. They can get,
Yeah.
I mean,
right, exactly. They can kind of slide. Why is our community so vulnerable? Well, a lot of it has to do with minority stress, stigma, discrimination, rejection that much of our community has felt throughout the years, beauty pressures within queer spaces, muscle culture, thinness, youth, looking the part, dating apps, media, how image-driven culture amplifies body comparisons. And, you know, you don't see a lot of different types, and you see a lot of perfect bodies, obviously, on TV. Gender dysphoria overlap for trans and non-binary folks, and the added complexity aligning body with identity. Do you relate to any of this stuff? And what is your feelings of body dysmorphia? Because I can tell I've always had a level of it. I grew up during the AIDS epidemic in the
Okay.
80s, and there was this whole thing, and they talk about this in the documentary, that you were so scared to get tested back then. And I
Hmm.
remember going to try and get tested, and it took 2 weeks to get your results back. And you were always convinced that the condom broke, or maybe you slipped up and didn't use a condom,
Hmm.
and you had to wait 2 weeks to get your test results.
That was
And that
horrible.
2 weeks was living hell. And
Yeah.
you convinced yourself during that 2 weeks that you were positive. But if you were lucky and you got the negative result, what that then you wanted to do, and this was my story and my best friend's story at the time, is we hit the gym because we wanted to look so healthy, and unlike a lot of the people that we were seeing that were disintegrating
Hmm.
and losing all their muscle
Wow. I
tone.
did not
And
even think of that.
so when I grew up, and they say this in the documentary, I was so hell bent on the gym. It's why I still work out today. Now, granted, I was an athlete that carried off into this, but this really was had a huge impact for me. How has it impacted you?
Well, yeah. Wow, you really just shocked me with all of that
Yeah.
because I can see it now. I like that was a substantial moment, and like I didn't experience any of that. I feel like I was born a twink, and I still feel like a twink on the inside, hence the body dysmorphia. But I think that mine comes from reading, growing up reading comic books and having those muscle men as my heroes and the people that I looked up to and things of that nature, and they were all perfect. So uh, I think a lot of mine comes from there, stems from there. But I also, uh, I think it stems from the male gaze, basically, and I think that heterosexual men, heterosexual women, I'm sorry, are subject to it as well. But gay men get it from other men, and I think it only kind of intensifies it. Uh, I don't know if it's innate or if it's socialized, but the way in general, men are more aesthetic based than women are. They look for other attributes if you're a woman, like intelligence and things of that nature. But men, they look at the physical, and I think that that's a huge part of it because we're men looking for other men, and of course we're going to look there first. So and yeah, so I think that Instagram
I
and
was just going to say, social media has a huge part in
yeah,
how we view ourselves within
and
our own community.
advertisements, all of those things have a hand in it. But I think
The
that
apps. I mean,
Grinder, of course,
well,
because who's
when you're reduced to a torso in many instances, or a body part,
I use my face on Grinder because hello.
easy breezy cover girl over here.
You're right. I got on a lot of makeup right now.
You look flawless, darling.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, but I think that this is something that gay men really have, they really struggle with because I think that it's built into our community. It's only intensified by us being men. So I really see it. I really feel it on the inside. I feel like a skinny guy 24/7, even though I got all these muscles right here, baby.
I think what you're pointing to, which is what a lot of us feel, is many of us have never felt like we were accepted, and we've been pushed to marginalize. And many of us were bullied when we were younger. And then we finally are out and we feel comfortable with ourselves. And then we find this competition within our own queer communities. So if you go on the apps or you look at social media, all you see is these ideal types. And all of that conditioning over years and years and years has an impact that, like what Bryce is saying in our comment sections here as we're live, even at my fittest, when I had an 8-pack, I still caught myself sucking in around gay men because I felt overweight. And if it wasn't
Wow.
about my weight, it was always something else, to this, to that. To be honest, sometimes I even feel too dark. And I'll admit that it's part of my own healing journey.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was alluding to, is that you can't undo all of this trauma, as we talk about, that is
Yeah.
embedded in many of us as queer people, that is years and years and years. And really, that mirror check is one of the main reasons that we suffer from a lot of this.
Oh, definitely. And you brought up something a little bit earlier that really kind of hit home with me. Uh, when you're picked on as a little gay boy, that sticks with you. So every day I go to the gym, I'm trying to prove that I'm not the F word that they called me back then.
Yeah.
So I really, really, that's a part of it. And it's not just one thing that you can point to. I think it's a multitude of things that all build up and have you second guess yourself. Because, like, I know that I have muscles,
Yeah.
but in my mind, I think that I'm not big enough. In my mind, I think that I'm not strong enough. I think all the things we tend to, as human beings, lean to things that are negative in about ourselves and we intensify those. We go over those more and more in our minds, and I think that you have to train yourself to fight back against that.
You have to train yourself, and then you have to give yourself grace too. And those are things
Amen.
easier said than done. But it's taken me this long. I'm in my 50s now, and I still do that mirror check all the time. But I know how to talk myself down to, okay, you're being crazy. Or we do social media for this show all the time. And I'll look at something and be like, oh no, I don't, I hate the way I look. But then I'll relook at it later. I'm like, I look fine, but
Yeah.
I just, maybe it was a bad angle. But I know how to kind of therapy wise talk myself out of that obsessiveness that I think that's what this all really is. Adrian watching us live says, I'm working to lose weight, but I'm at the point in my life where I am not about to starve myself to impress a guy. No, thank you. And amen, Adrian. I love that. And yeah, you just gotta at some point, and you'll see in this documentary, that's why I highly recommend it, because you'll see different levels of it. And there's a burning question when you're watching this, at least for my sister and I, as the documentarian looked good, like for all intents and purposes. And we were wondering, what is it that he made this film? What is it that you'll find out? I'll let you find out at the end of the film, because you'll realize there's varying degrees of a lot of this. Josh watching us live says, I'm on an 1,800 calorie a day calorie deficit so I can get to the leanest I want. That's not a lot. For myself, being an East Asian with Asian beauty standards, I literally lather myself in sunscreen and use hydroquinone cream to be as pale as I can. I've literally been shamed and judged so objectified by other East Asians for the way I look and adhering to East Asians' beauty standards. I would say that they covered this as well in the documentary too, about darker skin.
Colorism?
Yeah, and trans.
Wow, I really got to watch this.
Yeah, he did a really good deep dive, and not going to answer everyone's, but I hear you, Josh. I felt the same way years ago about my color, my skin too.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken me a really long time, years, but now I love it and I want to be dark, but it's a real thing. Adrian says, I still hear guys, gay, straight, calling me the F word, but somehow have found that I'm that F word who will curb stomp you in a stiletto heel or slice you up with the straight razor in my hair. Okay, Adrian, come on. I love it.
Oh, Adrian.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Where you at, Adrian?
Doug watching is like, this is really a topic that is hitting a lot of us.
It's hitting a lot of people. I'm telling you,
I didn't get bullied when I was younger. I was always the biggest student in class. But by the time I graduated high school, I was 6'3", 235 pounds. Yeah. Wow. Malibu watching us live says, I'm not perfect. My personality and the demeanor is awesome. Fact. Come on, Malibu. Yes, these exactly. We are, and that's why it brings us to our current poll, second poll of the night. You can take it on our Tags Patreon community. Have you ever experienced body dysmorphia on any level? You can choose from definitely or not that I know of is our other answer there. Let us know.
She's live now.
Oh, there you go, live. I saw that.
I was like, oh, that's me.
That's your cue. I love it. Yeah. And we will keep this conversation, read some more answers at the end of this episode. So please vote, vote, vote. I'm telling you, just a reminder, the film that this has always been an ongoing topic, but I like that somebody actually put it into a documentary. I love a good documentary. The film's called Body Electric. It's available on Prime for rent. Check it out. See what you think of it. I'd love to hear about that. we have got to move on to some hot topics. And, the first one is relating to what we were just talking about. Who's been a Nelly Furtado fan over the years? I know I was.
Me. Hello.
I mean, that first
I'm
album.
Like a Bird. I'm Like a Bird.
I'm Like a
my
Bird.
Song.
Remember that first album when she looked like a skater girl and she had those braids? I was all about that first album, and I've loved some songs throughout the years for sure. She was just at Manchester Pride performing. She was the headliner, and it looks like she was really good. She has gone through a lot of her own body shaming, just to bring it back to what we're talking about. She gave the gays at Manchester Pride everything they wanted, a set list full of bops and middle fingers to the haters. She's a Grammy award-winning pop queen and noted LGBTQ plus icon, and made a bold statement with her outfit the second she walked onto the Mardi Gras stage for a headlining set. She sported an oversized and thigh-length tee that featured a pointed cartoon hourglass figure in a tight miniskirt, white crop top, and a belt that read, "Whoa, Nelly," the title of her debut album, which turns 25 this year. And it was really the ultimate middle finger at all the body shaming she's gone through in comments on social media. And the singer has faced on her recent anniversary tour in a venue filled with people devoted to celebrating her authentic selves. And when I did a little bit deeper dive on her, she took a break, and she had 2 kids within a certain period of time, and she didn't think much of it. She was busy being a mom, and she was fine with the change in her body. Well, she noticed, as we all know, the trolls on social media were coming for her and saying, look how basically fat she got, and were really awful. She said it affected her initially, but not anymore. And she's out to just, that's why she's giving the middle finger and saying, I don't care, I love my body. And just that whole cycle, that what we do to women and gay men. I mean, like you said before, straight men, they don't have to worry about this.
Less, I feel like.
Okay, yeah, let's not throw them under the bus too much.
I did that first. I did it. But I was making a joke. So
yeah,
all rules go out the window when you're making a joke. But this, I think Nelly Furtado is doing the right thing. I think that she is out there being strong and powerful and showing that, you got to love yourself no matter what. And I think that she looks gorgeous. Her face, that face card is never declining because she is stamped, honey. And I think that she's beautiful.
She's always been gorgeous like that. Yeah.
At any size. But can I just play Jeremy for 1 second?
Please.
The outfits that she wore when she was getting all the body shaming, that did her no justice. I feel like that outfit looked horrible on her.
Just bad choice, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that
we all have that sometimes. A bad
stylist. Yeah, definitely. I've had many bad.
Well, she's been years and years. This is kind of like her comeback. She's been away for a while. Maybe she just picked the wrong stylist and. But I do like what she wore to kind of set the tone, and we're all talking about her now, and I think that she's going to get a lot more love coming her way now, and I have a feeling she's going to be looking real cute with those outfits soon.
Come out with I'm Like a Bird too. I love it.
Yeah, I wish she would go back to that kind of sound, because I really that first album so much, and 25 years, my goodness. I was in LA at the time. Okay, we've got to move on. So many hot topics here. We want to hear from you on what you think. Weigh in on these. Lil Nas X, we talked about him, is breaking his silence. If you were living under a rock, you missed that last Thursday he was seen on Ventura Boulevard strutting down the street at 4 a.m. with white cowboy boots and nothing but white briefs. Later, it all came off and he was naked. He did lunge and hit a police officer, and that's why he was held and detained all the way until Monday, which is crazy. $75,000 was his bail, and he wanted everybody to know that he did a little bit. His father talked about him and said that, please support him. He's fine. This is what he had to say. Your girl is going to be okay, y'all. Okay. She's going to be all right. She's going to be all right. shit, that was fucking terrifying, is what he said. That was terrifying. Not sure what he was really referring to, but I'm assuming it was the last 4 days where he was in jail, because that had to be terrifying.
Or
But your girl is
even,
gonna be all right. What do you think he
or
was referring to, and what do you
I
think about
think
all this?
I think that even the whole experience, as far as him going through whatever he went through, I don't know
Yeah,
if it was too much of what he was doing,
yeah.
or I don't know. I don't want to say specifically,
Mental
but
breakdown.
mental breakdown. I don't know if it was an extreme amount of either one of those things, but I'm glad he's okay right now. I'm
Yeah.
glad that he's out there speaking and being transparent. I think that could help a lot of people. I'm, yeah, I love him, and I hope that he's doing well.
Me too. He looked great in that, and I think that was the right messaging. One of the shows I watched was saying, "Oh, he seemed a little too flippant about the
No,
severity of
man,
the issue."
I
And
don't think
what was he
so.
supposed to say? I'm sure he has his lawyers. He still has to go back and meet with the judge, and they're going to actually see. Hopefully, he won't have to serve jail time. But what is he supposed to say? I liked that it was kind of just, your girl is going to be okay. Like, yeah, I've been going through it. This was crazy, but I thought that was enough. That's all we need to hear. He still has to show up in court. Let's see how this all plays out. I'm rooting for him because he's a big topic for us on this show, and we always show love for him. So, yeah. Were you going
Yeah.
to say one more thing?
I was going to say one more. I think that, you know what, people process trauma in different ways. And for
Yeah.
me personally, I know that I can come off as a little bit like I'm not taking it seriously, but
Yeah.
inside I'm taking it very seriously. So don't judge people by how their demeanor is. Maybe they're a lot more is going on internally, basically.
Yes, exactly. Let's move on to other hot topics, including Snoop Dogg, who was in the news. We often think Snoop's on our side. And in general, this was an interesting one because Snoop Dogg wasn't scared of queer people when he starred in an explicitly gay comedy. What comedy were they talking about that he starred in?
Bruno with Sacha
Bruno.
Baron Cohen.
Yeah, and
I love.
then they also pointed out that he was on the L Word at one point, which was lesbians, and one of my favorite shows.
Hello.
Well, now he was with his grandson to go see the 2022 animated film Lightyear, and he was on a recent podcast where he was telling the podcaster that his grandson basically turned to him and said, because isn't there a feature of two lesbians, two moms, right?
Two moms
And
holding a son,
yeah,
or
and
just a child. I don't know if it's a son or a daughter.
yeah. And they're like, she had a baby with another woman, the rapper said to host Sarah Fontaine. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie is like, Papa Snoop, how did she have a baby with a woman? She's a woman. And he remembered thinking, oh shit, I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. It did not go over very well, as you can imagine. It's
Sorry,
kind of
thanks for that.
funny because it is funny hearing like a grandparent have to, he wasn't prepared for this and he just wanted to watch the movie. But I was watching a couple of news stories on this, and they were like, well, even a gay host was saying, well, some topics maybe shouldn't be talked about until a kid is of a certain age. And this was nothing short of two parents. Like little Billy over here has two moms, or little Sarah over here has two dads. You will find this in any elementary school. That
Yeah.
is not topics like non-binary, which I don't think it should be an issue, but maybe you could wait a little bit on that one. But having two dads, two moms is a fact, a reality. If I was Snoop, I would just say it's possible, and I'll talk to you after the movie and watch the movie. And then if
Watch
he
the
really
movie, baby.
still wanted to know, I would say because that host that he was with, she was like, "Yeah,
She's a
I
mess.
don't know,
I can't
I
with
don't
her.
know how that. I mean, was mommy a dad at one point?" And I was like, girl, give it up. It's
Girl, she's
like,
a pick me
have you
bitch.
heard of surrogacy before? Have you heard of adoption before? It's like, it's not that any child can handle this. And you're going to see this at any elementary school. If little Snoop's grandson doesn't already have other parents in the school that are of same sex, it was just ridiculous. And I still think he's a queer ally. I just think, why'd you have to tell that dumb story? Because it didn't make him look very good. And TS Madison was quick to call him out. What did you think of what Snoop said and this whole nonsense?
Well, let me tell you, a lot of people are over Snoop anyway because of him performing for Trump. So we're all looking at him with the side eye because I can't. This is just like the icing on cake for me because maybe Snoop doesn't want to have this conversation with his grandson, but someone has to because, gay people exist, trans people exist. These conversations need to be had. I feel like if they happen at an earlier age, it's a lot easier for them to not hold on to the biases that they're going to be taught in the world later on. So I think that Snoop and all the people out there need to get used to having these conversations because I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to be holding my boyfriend's hand out in the street, and you're going to have to be like, yes, two men can love each other. In love, because I don't think these ladies weren't busting it down in the in the movie. They were like having sex. They were just.
Thank you. This was not. Yeah, it was like two moms. Come on, and
right. And they were being affectionate and holding their baby, and it was so sweet and lovely. All you had to do was be like, those two women are in love, baby, and just watch the movie, and that's it. It's not like they were in a Snoop Dogg video talking about ain't no fun if the homies can't get none, because and that's another thing. Can I expound a little bit more? Because Snoop has no problem denigrating women, but he has a problem with explaining love, and he has no problem being basically just like
featuring two lesbians in his music video for one.
Yeah,
as T.S. Madison reminded us.
But violence as well. I think like featuring violence in his videos and his music. So that's not a problem. But two women loving each other is a problem. So I don't think that's. He doesn't have a leg to stand on as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. Next, we're moving on from him right now. He's on our shit list. Somebody else might be on many of our shit lists is Miss Gloria Gaynor. I Will Survive. We all know her. And she is going to be honored, according to Trump, at the upcoming Kennedy Center Honors, or like I think he wants to name it, the Trump Kennedy Center. And she's going to be alongside people like Michael, by a lot of different people. I didn't mind the different list of people that were nominated. Some seemed a little bit random, but she is, we were talking about it in our meeting, like, a lot of people didn't know that she's a huge Republican, and she's donated to people like Ted Cruz and on and on and on to so many. I think it's really interesting because while I like that song, it's always been an anthem for women and gay men. That is really her only claim to fame in my mind. I mean, she doesn't really have like this. I mean, to Kennedy Center Honors, it's usually like a volume of work. She has that one song. I think the administration said, we need a little bit of diversity on there. Let's get a black person. And then looked her up and found out that she's a huge Republican donor. And the list is huge. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars that she's donated. I can post the list on TAGSPodcast.com. I'm not going to read it now and give them any extra love of people she's donated to. But it's huge, the list of people she's doing. I think they saw that and said, put her up there and will suffice our black quota. But you know what it really reminded me of, and we were talking about it in our meeting, was the Village People. Remember, nobody was talking about the Village People as of recent, except if you went to a bad wedding. And there you go. It's back up because Trump made that song big. And then the lead singer, who's still the lead singer of the Village People, made a whole stink about it, saying that it wasn't ever a gay anthem. I don't know. And his wife is threatening anybody that says it is a gay anthem, and she's going to sue them. It's almost the same thing. Gloria Gaynor, Village People, come on. Gay anthems, whether you like it or not, and made you the money in the first place, motherfuckers. So sit yourself down.
Supported them. And it is a slap in the face that they're out here donating to the Republicans and kowtowing to the Republican Party that is trying to strip us of our rights. So she's excommunicated as far as I'm concerned. my grandmother used to love this song, so it really
You
actually
can
affects
still love
me.
the song, but
Uh,
I'm planning an upcoming wedding
so
with
we're not playing
Diego.
it for the village
No,
people.
because we're not surviving in this wedding. We are living. And that probably wouldn't be a song I would play. I would never, I'm telling the DJ, no Village People songs ever. I didn't even like them. I thought they were silly
No,
then. Never.
they
And that
are, but
whole
they're
like
so campy and fun.
YMCA thing was like ridiculous to me.
But
No.
they're excommunicated too. No more, no more of that. We don't support people that don't support us.
Well,
Boom.
Adrian agrees with you watching us live, says, so she is dead to me. And frankly, as an artist, I am so ashamed of the Kennedy Center. Bryce says the song will now be known as I Won't Survive because her check won't help her anymore. Yeah,
Man,
I
I might have to
know.
buy it and so that I can just listen to it. Why? Because like the song is really iconic, right?
Yeah, it's just, I
That was the
wish.
weakest yeah I've ever heard in my
I
life.
wish some of these artists wouldn't like, why did now we have to know that she donated all this money? It's like, why
Yeah.
did you get all political and can't you just be a Republican and vote like the rest of us?
No,
But why?
unfortunately,
But see, all of this came up, and
yeah.
now, well, she's going to get this major award. She's losing all these other fans, and now we can't go to a wedding or a disco and hear "I Will Survive" and all this. And it's just like it's a hot mess. Oh, all right. Somebody that is celebrating getting married that we are, I just love this. The Virginia gay bar owners married each other on World Pride, but on a float. Who am I talking about?
Oh,
I'm talking about Freddie Luce and his longtime partner, Johnny Cervantes, got hitched during World Pride on a float. I love this idea. In 2025 in DC, they literally invited the whole world to their wedding, and they'd been together for over 20 years.
wow.
They did it on a float. They looked really great. One of them wore, I'll describe it to you since we don't really have the picture right now, but one of them wore this really opulent white suit with, was holding the bouquet, and the other one had a top hat and more of the black suit. They looked really fabulous. I was going to get married in the New York Eagle at one point. So I'm all for unconventionality when we're getting married. And to Hillary Clinton's point, LGBTQ people, if you're in a relationship, consider getting married now because it could be up, according to her, to the Supreme Court. Now, I don't think, as you and I said on previous episodes, that this is going to go down, but you might want to think about it.
Yeah.
Don't play I Will Survive, but maybe you can think outside of the box. What do you think
Oh
about
man.
this?
I think it's great. And I love that they did it at World Pride. I think that, like you said, people should be out there getting married because you never know what can happen. Like,
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen, but you need to be prepared. So good for them.
Yes. And lastly, in Hot Topics, Crumble, the cookie company, and there's one literally when you walk out my door to the right of me. I am not a fan of the Crumble cookie, and I'm a cookie lover. I'm not trying to eat cookies these days because I have a wedding to plan, but
Yeah.
I love cookies. Crumble is not my favorite. They're too cakey and too sweet and too much going on. However, and there's always a line wrapped around
A
every single
mess.
day I walk out my door. There's a line wrapped around the corner, but they are huge. Well, the Crumble co-founder Sawyer Hemsley is confirming that he's gay after being outed. This was crazy because he is from a Mormon family and kept it under wraps. His partner, his business partner, is straight. I was watching a whole news story on how they built Crumble over the years, and they really started it brilliantly as a social media company, first and foremost. They've done, the Kardashians have been involved with them doing collaborations, and they always wanted it to be a social media company first. Well, they're $1 billion company now off of a cookie. So while I'm not a big fan of it, I say kudos to you.
Yeah.
And he only came out, a lot of people were speculating that he was gay anyway, but you had sort of the backstory. That's your
So,
cue, darling.
so what had happened was, there was always speculation online about this. There was on Reddit, it was on TikTok, it was all over. But I feel like the final nail in the coffin was when Robert Sepulveda Jr. from Finding
Oh,
Prince Charming
yes.
from Logo. I think he went on his TikTok, and I meant to send it to you so you could watch it. But he went on his TikTok and actually displayed DMs from Robert Sawyer, the guy, the owner of Crumble, to him about what he would do. He said he showed his butthole and he doesn't want to show, he didn't want any butthole pics. It was a lot. So I don't
That's
agree.
really not cool. I don't
It's
think
not okay. It's not okay at all.
You know, it reminds me years and years ago when I was on the apps. I'll never forget. There was somebody that was hitting me up, and I was like, "Who is this?" And they sent a picture of them, and it was confirmed it was Clay Aiken. When Clay Aiken wasn't out, I mean,
Okay.
come on, we all knew he was gay, but this is when he wasn't really out. I didn't, and I think maybe we had the show, or I was doing my other site where I could have chosen to. I didn't. I wasn't interested, but I wasn't going to blast him, and that's just wrong, I think. So, but you know what? I'm really glad for this Crumble guy to come out, for Sawyer to come out. He has nothing to lose now. He has one of the most successful businesses out there. People love his, I mean, maybe his background as a Mormon really affected him, and now he had to, but he's probably going to get so much love and support now. And it doesn't make the other guy from Prince Charming look very good
He does not look good at all. I feel like he's crashing out a little bit online. So neither one of them look good, because it turns out that the owner of Crumble, he's a Republican as well. So he's been voting against our rights. So I don't know. I think that I want to tap out of this conversation because I think it's too much for me, and I don't want to be on either one of their sides, honestly. Like Robert Sepulveda, I will support him because he's Puerto Rican. So that's literally the only reason.
We have so many two more hot topics to get to, but I wanted to, for those of you watching us live, and it'll be on Tags Podcast and our Tags Patreon community, Straight Up Gay Porn, who took the hottest pick of the week. I think it's 15 not suitable for work images. Start looking at that now. We'll get to you in a second. You're on deck, people watching us live. But I did want to continue this story, the ever-going saga of David Geffen and Donovan Michaels' divorce is getting nastier and nastier. Both of them, as we've talked about on this show, have made claims about the other one. Everything from he made me get all these injections, he had OnlyFans people, he was racking up bills on this, he promised me the moon. They didn't have a prenup, which I still can't believe. He's a billionaire. The latest is Donovan Michaels is coming back and saying that Geffen promised him his yacht, and it's like a $590 million yacht. The thing that makes this a little bit suspect is, even if he got the yacht, how would you keep it up? Where are you parking it first? And those kinds of things are like, you don't just, I mean, you have to have a place to park this huge yacht.
And even staff. There's so many expenses that come along with
the staff, darling. Exactly. I mean, when you take it out. Have you not watched Below Deck? I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's only so much OnlyFans you could do, but I just think this is getting messier and messier. I don't know whose side I'm on. I mean, really, it's a mess. I don't know. I really don't know.
To get all the money. I want him to get all the money. I'm on his side, but I need for him to be realistic. Okay. If you
do you want him to get all the money because the other one was dumb enough not to have a prenup? That's kind of why I would side with you. If you're that dumb, if you're a billionaire, and by the way, I don't know if people know this, they met on like one of those billionaire websites.
Really?
That's how Geffen picked him out. He was on one of those sites. The first date cost him over 10 grand just to take him out.
Girl,
and then he decided he was in love with him, and then they got married, and then 6 months later divorce, and now they're giving us so much content. We talk about this every week because there's some new iteration from either side, and lawyers saying this, and it's just, I mean, I love it because it's kind of juicy.
It's salacious.
I want to see how this plays out, but no prenups. Sorry, I am a little bit on Donovan's side on this one.
Yeah, so, he just needs to get them coins, girl.
Get them
I need to go on
coins,
this site
girl.
though.
Yes, exactly. And
I'll have a
we're
wedding next
almost
year.
to, this kind of relates to it when a man wondered if he should come out to his parents and risk losing his $12 million inheritance. That's a tough one, but you know what I would do is I would not come. This is so awful. I would not come out, but I would leak it to the press or like somebody and have them out me. So then I didn't do it, but I'd already had my $12 million
Wait,
inheritance. I would leak it to somebody to out me. So I didn't come out. Get it?
but
You
is that a
can't get mad at.
loophole?
Well, if I already got the 12 million from,
Yeah.
and they think I'm straight, now I have my 12 million, I secure my bank accounts. They can't take it away from me. Then I leak it out to somebody like this Prince Charming show guy to put it all over social media that I'm gay. And I'm like, oh my God, oops, I didn't do it. Somebody else
No.
outed. And then I would get so mad that I was outed, but I would be basking my 12 million and sorry, mom and dad. Oops.
Okay, I see that. I can see that for us. So when you get your 12 million, you let me know. Okay.
Well, Diego played the two lottery things today, and I said, "Oh my God, when you
Let's
win," he said, "When you win, when we win." I said, "Oh, okay."
see, he's the cutest.
Oh, I know.
Oh, when we
Pray for
win,
us
the
that we
three of us,
win.
the three
No,
of us.
no, we're not in a throuple, bitch. You didn't want to play earlier when he was at the gangbang, so sorry, boo. Anyways, we got to get to Thirst Trap. Who took the hottest pick of the week and why? It's our job on an audio podcast to tell vividly why. Sorry, 13, not suitable for work. Who did you pick and why?
I picked Keegan Wick, and at first I was gonna pick his I don't remember. Anyway, at first I'm gonna pick another guy. He's something Vice, and his body is fucking amazing, but I don't think he's gay, so I'm not gonna vote for him. Keegan Wick is 100% gay. He looks so cute in this. It's a mirror selfie. He's got a huge dick, and it's hanging out.
They
He's got
all
his
do
tongue
this
sticking
week.
out. I know, right? There's so many hot guys on this week, but I've had a crush on him for a long time. He's got a t-shirt on. He's lifting it up and showing his torso like it's a
Oh,
grinder
wait,
pick. Yeah,
not
you picked him too?
Enrique?
Not Enrique. Keegan.
Oh, okay. Because Enrique, so my pick is Enrique Mudu. And I don't know if I always play this game properly because I go through them. Now I'm telling you, I'm keeping the 12 million. I'm not telling my parents, and I don't play this game properly, but oops. But I always tend to, because there's links below and it takes you to their X
Oh,
account.
me
So
too.
I like
That's how
to
I
do a
know.
little background check on them to see if they really live up to the picture at hand. I don't know. Maybe it's my modeling days, but I like to know a little bit more. And I chose Enrique Mudo because he also has a crop top on, holding, his arms are folded there. He has glasses. And I looked at all his other, he's a Mexican guy in Mexico City with these beautiful blue eyes, a really sexy, lean body that I think, and that trail going up. He's also, I don't do this for my body, but he kept a lot of hair around his pubic region, and I think it's really sick. And he has a really thick cock with his Calvin
Oh,
Klein's just
you know
posting.
what?
I just love it.
He looks
He's
like
not doing.
Diego.
He's got a Diego look, yeah.
He looks like
Maybe I
Diego. That's
like
why
that
you
look.
picked. I
I
was like,
don't
where's
know.
Enrique?
Well, Diego's picking Nicholas, and he didn't tell us why, but Nicholas is his pick. What are the people saying in our last couple minutes? Okay, Malibu says Geffen crumbled. I got that. On not getting a prenup. Get it? Geffen crumbled. Stay in the closet, get the money. Duh. Doug says Jack
Jack him
Imhoff.
off. Yeah.
Jack him off. Oh, check him out. Hello. Yes, I got it. Bryce says Chris Wade for me because he has the best background and is representing the fellow non-binary folk. Oh, good. I like that. See, you probably did a background check on him too?
I mean, that's the only way to go. The only way I knew his name is Jeffrey Vice, and his body is fantastic, but he doesn't have any collabs. So I'm like, no, you're not giving me what I want, baby.
Hey, it's hard to get those collabs. I know from experience. But anyway, thank you so much for playing. The polls continue over on our Tags Patreon community. So head over there to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. Follow Kodi on the gram and Blue Sky at Mr. Maurice. Follow me on the gram. I am _Stevie. And in the meantime, continue having hot, gay sex. Thanks, everybody.